Marcus wiped the grease from his hands, his fingers trembling slightly as the laughter echoed through the luxury car showroom. The billionaire CEO stood there in her designer heels, her perfectly manicured hand pointing at him like he was nothing more than a stain on her expensive marble floor. "You think you can fix my car?" she said, her voice dripping with mockery. "A single dad working 2 jobs? Please. But tell you what, fix this engine that 3 mechanics couldn't solve, and I'll marry you. Deal?" The crowd of salespeople and wealthy customers erupted in laughter. Marcus felt his 7-year-old daughter's hand slip into his, and in that moment, something inside him shifted. He looked up at the woman who thought kindness was something you could buy, and he smiled. Because what she didn't know was that sometimes the people you underestimate are exactly the ones who will change your life forever. Before we continue with this incredible story, if you love hearing about moments when kindness triumphs over cruelty, please hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Drop a comment below telling us about a time when someone underestimated you. And make sure you're subscribed to Kindness World, because we bring you the most inspiring true stories of compassion and humanity every single day. Now, let's get back to Marcus and see what happened next. Marcus had been standing in that showroom for 20 minutes, waiting for someone to acknowledge him. He wasn't there to buy anything. His old pickup truck had broken down 3 blocks away, and he'd walked his daughter Emma past the gleaming sports cars and luxury sedans, hoping to use their phone to call a tow truck. But the moment he stepped inside, still wearing his factory uniform with oil stains on the knees, the atmosphere changed. People looked away. Salespeople suddenly became very busy with paperwork. Then Victoria Ashford walked in. Everyone in the city knew her name. She'd inherited her father's tech empire at 25 and had tripled its value in 5 years. Forbes called her ruthless. Her employees called her worse. She swept through the showroom like she owned it, which, Marcus would later learn, she actually did. She owned the dealership, the building, and half the block. Her cherry-red Ferrari had been making a strange noise, she announced loudly, and she was furious that her personal mechanic hadn't figured it out. 3 certified technicians had looked at it. Nobody could find the problem. Victoria was the kind of person who didn't accept failure, especially not from people she paid. That's when her eyes landed on Marcus, and that cruel smile spread across her face. "You there," she said, snapping her fingers. "You look like you work with your hands. Think you're smarter than my mechanics?" Marcus should have walked away. He should have taken Emma's hand and left. But he saw something in that moment. He saw his own daughter watching, learning how her father responded when someone tried to make him feel small. And he thought about all the times people had judged him since his wife Sarah died, leaving him alone with a little girl and mountains of medical debt. He'd learned that dignity wasn't something someone could take from you. It was something you chose to keep. "I can take a look," Marcus said quietly. Victoria's laugh was sharp enough to cut glass. "Oh, this is rich. Okay, I'll make you a deal. You fix what 3 ASE-certified mechanics couldn't fix, and I'll marry you. How's that sound?" The showroom exploded with laughter. "But when you fail, you get out of my dealership and stop wasting everyone's time. Deal?" Marcus nodded. "Deal." They led him to the service bay. Emma sat on a bench, swinging her legs, complete faith shining in her eyes. Marcus popped the hood of the Ferrari and listened. He'd grown up in his grandfather's garage, back when men fixed things with intuition and patience instead of computer diagnostics. He traced fuel lines with his fingers, checked connections the fancy machines might have overlooked. 15 minutes later, he found it. A loose ground wire, tucked behind the engine block where it was almost invisible. It wasn't creating a constant problem, just an intermittent electrical issue that would be nearly impossible to catch on a diagnostic computer. He tightened it, started the engine, and the strange noise was gone. The purr was perfect. Victoria stood there, her expression unreadable. The laughter had stopped. Marcus wiped his hands on a rag someone handed him and met her eyes. "It's fixed," he said simply. For a long moment, nobody spoke. Then Victoria did something that shocked everyone in that room, including herself. She stepped forward, her designer heels clicking on the concrete floor, and extended her hand. Not in mockery this time. In respect. "I apologize," she said, and the words seemed to cost her something. "That was cruel and unnecessary. I've become someone I don't recognize." Her voice cracked slightly. "My father used to say that how you treat people who can't do anything for you says everything about your character. I failed that test today." Marcus shook her hand. "We all have bad days," he said. "The measure of a person is what they do next." Victoria looked at Emma, still sitting on the bench, and something in her expression softened. "Is that your daughter?" Marcus nodded. "She's lucky to have a father who shows her how to maintain dignity when others try to take it away." What happened next became the talk of the city. Victoria didn't marry Marcus, of course. That had been a cruel joke. But she did something better. She offered him a job as head of her personal automotive restoration division, with a salary that made his eyes water. More than that, she started a foundation in Sarah's name, helping single parents with medical debt. She began showing up at her companies, really talking to the people who worked there, really seeing them. Marcus accepted the job. Not because of the money, though that changed everything for him and Emma. He accepted because he recognized something in Victoria that day. He saw someone who'd forgotten what kindness felt like, and he wanted to help her remember. 2 years later, Marcus stood in that same showroom, now renovated and renamed the Ashfordshire Automotive Centre. Victoria had made him a partner. But more importantly, she'd become Emma's godmother and Marcus's closest friend. She'd learned that the things that matter can't be bought. They can only be given freely: respect, compassion, and the simple choice to see the humanity in everyone you meet. The next time you're tempted to judge someone by their appearance, remember Marcus. Remember that the person you underestimate today might be the one who changes your life tomorrow. Because kindness isn't weakness. It's the strongest force in the world. And it always, always wins in the end.